Hopefully this works all right and you can see me and you can certainly hear me and all that kind of stuff. I should be a little face in the corner with my microphone here. And what we're about to watch is a promo by Tyler Culprett. I assume it's happening at Pro South. He asked me to take a look at it, and I thought I would use it as sort of a teaching exercise. I have not watched this promo at all yet, so you're going to get my genuine reactions. I'm holding the microphone so close to my mouth, and I'm so far away from my laptop because I forgot headphones. I'm not at home right now, and I don't want the sound to sort of like echo and lap over twice. It may do that a little bit, but I'm going to do my level best. I may start and stop this thing as I go. So let's go ahead and hit play and see what's going down. Right from the jump, I'm a man that needs no. I'm assuming he's going to finish out with introduction. What does he look like sitting in that chair? He looks like a mad king. And that's the look that he's going for. The way that he holds that title onto his shoulder. Look at the body language. These are the things that don't get discussed when guys do promos, but they're essential. And his look is slightly ridiculous, right? The way his hair is sort of jutting up above the crown. He is not making an attempt to look like a badass here, and I love that. He looks like a mad king clinging on to his title, and now he's going to do hyperbole, right? My kid doesn't realize that now she's on. So,
I realize
it. So he looks like a mad king, and I think he's about to say, you know, I'm a man who needs no introduction, right? Now his body language shifts.
Tyler Culprett, and I am the Pro South champion, and you're one true king of Pro South.
The true king thing is great. He's already said that he likes bragging about himself, so that's what he's going to do. Again, is it sensational, world-beating stuff? No, but it's basically promo 101. Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
That came in, told you what I was going to do, carried through, and did it. I am the man.
Nothing's better than nothing's more of a heel move than rubbing things in people's face, and he's right, right? Every time I say something, I've come through with it and I've delivered. And so that the subtle implication is, so what I'm going to say in this promo is worth listening to because I've set up a precedent that when I say something, I make it happen. It's something that maybe Tyler is even doing without intention, but it's a very good thing, which is establishing credibility again and again. I'm the Pro South champion. Every time I say something, it's happened. And so the implication is, so you should listen to me, without him saying blatantly, so listen to me, which I always think is great. Showing, not telling, is always a stronger move.
Man that single-handedly brought more attention to this brand than it has ever seen. And yet here I am, 1 week away from the biggest event of the year, Anniversary Super Show, and I don't know who my opponent is.
Ah, now we get to the meat of it. Here's his gripe. Here's why we have the promo, right? I've helped Pro South. I've done everything I said I was going to do, and yet we're a week away, and I don't know who my opponent is. He's doing something really great here, which is he's taking a weakness and he's making it into a strength, right? It is weird that he doesn't know whose opponent is, that they haven't been able to promote it. He's going to turn it into a strength. It's a thing against me. And again, really smart, really articulate, and then these pauses that he's taking, which would normally drive me crazy. But this is obviously supposed to be a segment in and of itself. I see that it's 4 minutes long. Great. So he can take these pauses, but he's working during the pauses. He's also not doing the thing a lot of indie guys do, which is they just get on their feet and they get on their horse and they just walk around and their focus constantly shifts. His focus is whoever's the loudest, he rewards them. It's the heel version of Hogan doing this, right? Oh, you're cheering. I'm going to flex for you. What Tyler's doing is when somebody is yelling and they're really into it, he acknowledges them. And that's good because the name of the game is heat and engagement. He's not so lost in what he's trying to remember what to say that he's not acting as Tyler Culprett and he's not ignoring the crowd. He looks like a guy who's speaking off the cuff, right? And is fully in control. And that's the important thing, is he looks like he's in control. And I fully believe this Tyler Culprett thing happening right now. And he's put over the show.
What I do know. 3 men, 3 brothers will compete in a triple threat match. And the winner challenges me in the main event.
He gets a lot of exposition out in a very tight space there. And that's really good. 3 men, and then he puts more chips on the table. 3 brothers. Now, whether they're really brothers, I don't think they are. But he shows the gravity of the situation. It's 3 guys who should be on the same page, but they're going to fight each other for the privilege of fighting me next week. He's done more work in that 10 seconds than WWE gets done in entire vignettes. Yep. That's a proper use of exposition.
And at first, I'll admit, I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be able to prepare in time for my opponent. But then I got to thinking about it. Let me lay this out for you. First.
So this is great too. He's taking a weakness and making it into a strength. I'll admit I was worried. He's putting over his potential opponents as worthy. Instead of doing the usual heel braggadocious thing of, well, it doesn't matter who it is. You just set him up in front of me and I'll knock him down. How's that supposed to draw money? How's that supposed to be interesting? How's that supposed to inspire hope in the crowd that perhaps the babyface is going to win? How is that anything more than the tired cliches that we've heard from heel champions time and time again, especially in the modern era? Instead, he's putting them over. I was worried and I'm not going to have enough time to prepare, but then I thought, great use of the conjunction, but because now, okay, we'll see what his thinking is.
We have Trevor Eon.
Talks about Trevor Eon.
A man that for the most part has stayed out of my way, and he's better for it.
He's talking about...
Threat detected.
He says Trevor Aeon has stayed out of my way for the most part. So he's given us an intriguing reason to want to see him and Trevor Aeon, right? We haven't seen them work before. Now, under the character of Tyler Culprett, he's saying, well, that guy stayed out of my way because he's obviously scared of me. So he goes, no threat detected, right? Funny line.
Secondly, we have Eric Silva.
Here's something else he's doing that's very smart and feels very main event of him, which is he's doing a heat check. What's a heat check, Steve? He's saying their name and then giving the crowd time to react so he can gauge which one gets the strongest reaction. Boy, as a booker, is that awesome or is that awesome? Now, obviously, the third name he's going to say is designed to garner the biggest reaction of all, right? If you're in a rap battle and you do like, who won, this guy or this guy? Whoever you want to win, generally you're going to have them go second. It's just something the crowds naturally do. They build to a crescendo. So now he's saying Eric Silva, who got a good reaction, obviously a guy who's been around Pro South that the crowd knows, you know?
Yeah, Eric Silva, yeah, that's what I said. The man that I beat the Pro South Championship. The man that I went on to defeat multiple times thereafter.
Because it is a heel promo, and ultimately he's got to put himself over, right? And that's a fact. He beat Eric Silva for the title. But the crowd obviously is feeling Eric Silva. So who's this third name going to be?
Eric.
Oh, now he's talking to Eric.
One of these days, you will have to sit down and look in the mirror and realize that the ghost is dead. And without him, you simply are not worthy.
Who's doing the camera work on this shit? Because it's fucking great. To zoom in, and then just the subtle thing of going closer to his face to punctuate his words is very powerful. An interesting thing when I was at Southern Honor, and they were filming a vignette, a segment involving Logan Chase and his guy Jordan Kingsley attacking Chip Day. And I told him afterwards, if you guys were allowed to shoot it again, what I would do is every time Kingsley is hitting Chip Day, because you can't really get noise out of a quote-unquote wrestling beating, right? Without the guys doing it verbally. I'm like, you, in what you're saying, punctuate each hit. You provide the sound, right? Chip Day, don't you ever touch me again, or whatever, and that makes it stronger. That's a Gary Hart thing from when he managed that I took that from. Tyler Culprett right here, by the camera pulsating on his face and getting closer as he says each word, this is the thing that he's putting an exclamation point on when he's addressing Eric Silva. It's very good. And now he does a little cocky little head thing.
And last,
What a smarmy prick Tyler is. I wouldn't have been so dismissive saying Austin Towers. I would have given that spark to ignite the crowd so they could have popped big for it.
And Austin, I hope that you had your little fun earlier today, because that's the closest you will ever get to holding the Pro South Championship. If you were to make a highlight reel of my biggest hits here, it would just be me breaking my umbrella over Austin Towers' big stupid head week after week after week. Countless times I have left Austin Towers laying, and not once.
Okay, so he's talking about all the times he's cracked his umbrella over Austin Towers' head, which is great. What I'm hoping happens in the last 30 seconds of this promo is a change in Tyler. It can be subtle, but there has to be something that reflects that he's really scared of Austin Tower, and this is just braggadocious stuff. I hope that that happens. Yeah, there has to be a change. If you do things in threes, talk about this guy, there has to be a discernible change in the third one. It's just art stuff.
Has he done the same to me? So am I worried? Not in the slightest. Because I am your Pro South champion, and I will forever reign supreme.
Standing is great.
Your true king.
All right. Again, I would have loved to see a difference between the three. I think Austin Towers is where you go. I mean, even if it's something as blatant as, I'm not scared of him. And then when the crowd responds, basically saying, yes, you are, he goes, I'm not. And we can see that there's something about Austin Towers that's different than Eric Silva, that's different than Trevor Aeon. And that's the one who's really gotten to him. Yeah. I know that's a deep, I mean, it's a 15-minute analysis of a 4-minute promo, but as the guys cut more and more promos, and I think that that's wonderful, we really want to hit those moments and treat them as seriously as you would a match. You want to get to the point where you're cutting so many promos in your off time that you can work on the subtle inflections of starting here and rising to here. And keep in mind, the point of a promo is it's short for promotion. The point is, what am I saying that's going to interest people in this match and sell some tickets and get some eyeballs watching that may not have otherwise? Anyway, this is Stephen Platinum with a look at Tyler Culprett's promo. Have a good one.